This Week in Gaming with Naomi Kyle.
Hey, I'm Naomi Kyle and welcome back to This Week in Gaming. This week we're catching up on the latest with GTA 6, our hopes for Summer Game Fest, a massive sale happening for Xbox 360 games, what the makers of the Assassin's Creed games have been working on, and a whole lot more. So let's get right into it. Ubisoft has revealed that they will be canceling their plans to develop The Division Heartland, a free-to-play shooter set in the Tom Clancy's The Division universe. The company has been canceling many games as of late, stating their decision is a result of them trying to make too many games at once. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot said that the company will be adopting a strategy to refocus their efforts on creating open-world adventure games, like those of the Assassin's Creed variety from here on out. And right on cue, Ubisoft revealed a new addition to the Assassin's Creed franchise this week with a new game they're calling Assassin's Creed Shadows. In a 4-minute trailer, it was revealed that the game would take place during 16th century Japan and allow players to control two protagonists, the shinobi, Naoi, for stealth-based combat, and Yasuke, the black samurai, for head-on combat. Yasuke is, for those unfamiliar, based on history's first and only African samurai. Assassin's Creed Shadows also introduces a seasonal cycle, encouraging players to revisit castles and villages for fresh exploration opportunities. And as the name suggests, there will be an emphasis on lighting throughout the game, taking full advantage of the complex ray tracing made capable by PCs and next-gen consoles. What is ray tracing, you ask? Well, it's quite simply a 3D rendering technique that mimics the behavior of light. Players can expect to get Assassin's Creed Shadows when it releases on November 15th of this year on PS5, PC, and Xbox Series X and S. But maybe don't put in your pre-order just yet. Shortly after the game's reveal, pre-orders went live, and that was when people began to take note that there was wording within the pre-order listings that seemed to suggest that Assassin's Creed Shadows would require constant internet connection, despite it being a single-player experience. Just as gamers were taking to online forums, Ubisoft put out the following to clear up all the air. Assassin's Creed Shadows will not require a mandatory connection at all times. An online connection will be needed to install the game, but you will be able to play the entire journey offline and explore Japan without any online connection. I hope that this is just about the Day 1 patch Ubisoft expects you to install and not what's to be expected for the physical copy of the game. We've had plenty of discussion about physical gaming on the podcast and its importance to video game preservation, so I hope that this news is simply a small speed bump and not a sign of worse things to come. While we're on the topic of game preservation, last year when Microsoft announced that the Xbox 360 store would be closing on July 29th, Microsoft has since put 66 games on sale, and let me tell you, the discounts are steep. Game sales started at 50% off and go all the way up to 90% off. Tomb Raider for the 360 is currently just $5 at the time of this recording. This sale is expected to remain in place until the store closes on July 29th, and Microsoft says that there are plans for even more games to go on sale starting June 18th and July 16th. We will keep a close eye on this story and additional sales as we get closer to the end of the Xbox 360 online store. June Boom is less than a month away, and Summer Game Fest, the upcoming live video game event organized and hosted by gaming personality Jeff Keighley, and arguably the biggest video game event of the year, will be officially kicking off June 7th from the YouTube Theater in Los Angeles. Before the live stream, Summer Game Fest will be hosting an invite-only hands-on gameplay event that they're calling Play Days, where game studios and developers can share what they've been cooking. Some of the developers and publishers include 2K, Bandai Namco, Capcom, Devolver, EA, PlayStation, Sega, and Xbox. Basically, a bunch of developers that make great games. If you're in the Los Angeles area and you're interested in attending the Summer Game Fest Live, tickets are on sale right now at the Summer Game Fest website, and if you aren't able to attend, you will still be able to watch the event when it goes live on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Twitter, and Steam. And you better believe we will be covering the entire thing right here on This Week in Gaming, so you can stay on top of all the big news that comes out of the show without missing a beat. The makers of the Portal, Half-Life, and Team Fortress games are working on a new game if some recent leaks are to be believed. Leaks of a new game from developer Valve began to surface on Twitter and 4chan last week after screenshots were posted from Valve's supposed competitive shooter, Deadlock. The leaked images depict steampunk fantasy heroes battling for dominance in a 6 versus 6 shooter like Overwatch, but with lane and tower defense mechanics like Dota 2. Gabe Follower, a Valve-focused content creator, claims that Deadlock is not necessarily a new project, but instead a new game for a Valve project that is known to be in development, previously titled Neon Prime. As expected, some fans of Valve are disappointed that Valve is working on anything but Half-Life 3, but as is the case with all leaks, we don't know for sure if the images that have been leaked are real or manufactured for internet clout. We will of course be revisiting this story when and if Valve responds. As we mentioned in last week's episode, The Verge had reported that there could be a price increase coming to Xbox Game Pass, and the increase may or may not coincide with the release of the latest Call of Duty title gamers are anticipating to arrive later this year. An industry insider known by the username Shinobi602 recently shared via a thread on Reset Era, an online gaming forum, that changes will in fact be coming to Xbox Game Pass. While Shinobi602 didn't divulge any additional information, users suspect that Microsoft may be adding an additional tier to make sense of the supposed price hike. Amid rumors of a delay for the highly anticipated sequel GTA 6, publisher Take-Two's CEO Strauss Zelnick told IGN in an interview that he feels highly confident that we'll deliver GTA 6 in fall of 2025. While confidence doesn't make up for certainty, this is great news for fans of the long-running franchise. Even more big news befell Take-Two when it was announced that after 11 years, GTA 5 has crossed over a momentous threshold, selling a total of 200 million copies to date. This milestone firmly plants GTA 5 as the third best-selling game of all time behind Minecraft and, of course, the game Tetris. Fallout is dropping into Fortnite. Nope. You didn't bump your head, this is real life. The official Fortnite social media account on Twitter posted an image that depicts the iconic Fallout power armor silhouetted over a post-apocalyptic nuclear reactor. While specific details on the crossover are still under wraps, the Fallout-inspired content is anticipated to arrive with Chapter 5 Season 3 of Fortnite, reportedly titled Wrecked, launching on May 24th. Additionally, there are rumors of Fallout content appearing in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 and Warzone 2.0. This is of course thanks to the awesome Amazon Fallout TV show that everyone, including myself, is obsessed with, and us gamers couldn't be happier. More Fallout content is never a bad thing. And lastly, the sequel to the 2023 film adaptation of Five Nights at Freddy's has been slated for release on December 5th, 2025. There's no title for the film yet, but the original film based on the video game of the same name was a massive success, grossing a total $297 million globally. The tagline for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is, "Anyone can survive 5 nights. This time there will be no second chances." While the cast has also not been announced yet, the original film featured Josh Hutcherson, best known for his role as PETA in Hunger Games, Matthew Lillard from Scream and Scooby-Doo movie fame, and Elizabeth Lail from the Netflix TV series You. Now let's go over the video games releasing this week. On May 20th, Songs of Conquest and World of Warcraft Cataclysm Classic releases on PC. Then on May 21st, we get Synergy and Gestalt, Steam, and Cinder launching on PC. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 debuts on Series X and S, PC, and launches day one on Game Pass. System Shock Remake gets ported over to PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. And Paper Trail jumps to all platforms, including mobile. On May 22nd, Cards RPG The Misty Battlefield shuffles onto PS5, PC, and Nintendo Switch. On May 23rd, Crown Wars, The Black Prince, and Morbid the Lords of Ire crashes onto PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, and Switch. Until Then launches to PS5 and PC. World of Goo 2 slinks onto Switch and PC. Huntai releases on all platforms. Zillions launches exclusively on PC. And lastly, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door tears away from the GameCube and exclusively launches on the Switch. On May 24th, Sunnyside launches exclusively on PC. Retropolis 2, Never Say Goodbye, gets ported on PSVR 2 that day as well. Xbox Game Pass has a few games coming to the service. As previously mentioned, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 launches day one on May 21st. Galacticare and Huntai are also getting the day one treatment when they hit Game Pass on May 23rd. Dragon Age Inquisition Game of the Year Edition is free to download on the Epic Games Store right now until May 23rd. And Amazon Prime members can download Spirits of Mystery Whispers of the Past for free, you guessed it, on May 23rd. So that's the news this week. It's now time to chat with our guest, Paris Lilly, who joins us to chat about the upcoming Summer Game Fest and what we think of the latest Assassin's Creed game. Hey, Paris, welcome back to the show.
Thank you so much for having me back.
Yeah, we have two things I want to touch on. We have Assassin's Creed Shadows. I mean, expected. We wanted to see it finally go to Japan, feudal Japan. But what were your first thoughts seeing what they released, seeing the trailer? Were you excited about it? Are you a fan of Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, I am an Assassin's Creed fan, and exactly what you said, them going to Japan just seemed like a no-brainer. So for them to finally do it, yeah, it was good to see. Trailer looked good, game looks good. Definitely looking forward to it at the end of the year.
What are your feelings about Assassin's Creed as a franchise right now? Because we've seen so many iterations at this point.
Yeah, it's funny because, like you said, there's been so many different iterations of it where obviously when it originally came out, we all loved that. Then it started to be too much because I think, what was it, Syndicate or something, is after that they took a break. And then they came back with Origins and they did Odyssey, and I was loving that. But then they did Valhalla, and I'm like, wait, this is too much. All right, let's bring it back. They did Mariah, so now it's kind of going back to the classic format again. So I just think it's cyclical. Cyclical, is that the right word? But it's in a good place again. My only thing with Assassin's Creed is definitely space them out. We don't need annual releases. I think a good 2 to 3 year cadence for those games is pretty good.
Yeah, and they get more time to hopefully innovate a bit too, because it's been a lot of the open world, you're unlocking the map as you go, stealth stuff. What did you think of the new protagonist, Yasuke, the African samurai? Everyone has had different opinions about it, but what are your thoughts?
So here's my 2 cents on it. I've purposely tried to stay out of that discourse, but I'm happy to answer it here. Didn't bother me at all because he is a historical figure. So what is 100% true, what is not, I don't think really matters because that character has been used in other forms of entertainment throughout the years. So to see him show up in this game didn't bother me at all. And, as far as the discourse about the historical accuracy of it, when has an Assassin's Creed game been historically accurate? It never has been. So it's not a big deal to me.
Okay, good. And just to let people in, can you describe kind of what the initial reaction was from fans when that came out? People, I guess, wanted somebody who was of Asian descent, or there was different things being said out loud.
Yeah, there was various comments. I don't want to give too much air to some of the more divisive ones, but I mean, it really just boils down to, okay, this is your first time coming to Japan. Why are you not having a Japanese protagonist? They are. There is a female Japanese protagonist that's in there, but having this character being of African descent, I mean, there were some people that wanted to push back on it. Is there too much, lack of a better term, are we being woke and all these things that people were saying? And I go back to what I said at the top. No, this is a historically accurate character. We know this character existed during that time period. Was he a full-blown samurai? Maybe, maybe not. But again, it's a video game, so I don't think it's that big of a deal. Yeah,
and I also think it's a very unique perspective and a story that maybe people weren't aware of or could get to know a little bit better. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it's something that's very, it's different, but we're still going to get to explore that world, feudal Japan, 16th century. It looks beautiful from what they showed. Yeah, I'm just happy to finally see that Ubisoft listened, and they're also, like you said, taking time in between to make these games more fleshed out and to take time with them. We've had a couple iterations of Assassin's Creed come out where they were not as finished as they could have been. Right. So, it's good to see. I want to talk about Summer Game Fest. It's not too far off. I'd say in the next 2 weeks or so, 3 weeks, we're about to hop into that. So is there anything that you're looking forward to the most to seeing at Summer Game Fest? Announcements that you're hoping to see? I'm very curious, obviously, with Xbox's showcase to see what they're going to have to show. But when I think about Summer Game Fest itself, you go back to last year, Keighley debuted the Prince of Persia game during that showcase, which was a great surprise. It's fantastic games, probably one of the best games of this year.
I have a feeling, and he's not confirmed this or said this or anything, but we know Ken Levine is working on Judas. He did a preview with a couple sites a few weeks back. I got a feeling we might see that here as well. So I'm very excited for that. I've loved BioShock. I love System Shock, Ken Levine games. So to see what the next thing coming from him would probably be my biggest, fingers crossed, I hope it's here type of deal. But, I've noticed the show over the past few years has evolved. Like he had Elden Ring, a few years back. So, he's definitely had some big debuts at the showcase. So I'm expecting something. There's going to be something that we have no idea about that will be there. And that's probably what excites me the most.
Coming out of left field, I'm sure there's some surprises that he has ready to go. I'm personally excited to see anything from Gear 6. We know that might be for sure thing. So we'll see if that happens. Will you be attending any of the hands-on demos that are happening at the show?
Oh, yeah. I am. I don't know about yourself, but I am booked. Like I to the point I usually in the past couple of years will slot some time to, hey, I'm going to go grab something to eat or I'm going to take an hour break or something like that. Not this year. I am at the point from Saturday at 10:30 until Monday, I think at 5 p.m. I am booked all day. So to the point I'm turning down appointments. Like, hey, we want you to come see this game. And I'm like, I can't. I'm already booked kind of thing. So he's definitely grown it over the past few years. Even compared to just last year, I feel like it's double the size because I have no time in between, which is exciting and scary at the same time. Like, how am I going to get from appointment A to B to C to D all at once? So we'll see, but it's exciting. I mean, I know this isn't E3 as we remember it, but just from getting an early look, getting hands-on with things, being able to interview various developers, things like that. It's exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. Describing
it like that is exactly what I feel E3 was, where you just had all these appointments and you had to rush from one area of the convention center to the next. And for those who don't know, these types of events, E3 in the past, a lot of it is just previewing games and seeing games for the first time, getting our hands on it. And so Summer Game Fest has gone that route. I think they did that last year, a little bit. Not as much as this year. So it's going to be a wild ride. I'm expecting it to grow year over year. But do you think Summer Game Fest has anything to do more at this point to really solidify their place as their next E3?
I think, we know E3 is officially gone. Jeff and his team has done a great job of supplementing that. And slowly but surely, he's grown it over the past, what has it been, 4 or 5 years now since he started up this format to the point to where we're talking right now. It feels like full-blown E3 with the appointments and everything that we're doing. I mean, now the public is invited to the showcase, but the public won't be at the location we'll be at as far as getting hands-on with things and interviewing developers and things like that. So in a way, it feels like the best of both worlds, where I think towards the end of E3, it started because the public was involved. There was just way too many people. I'm rushing, trying to get to appointments. Everything was chaos, where I think this is a little more laid back. We'll see this year, but it's been more laid back in the past. And I think we can get work done, I think is the most important thing, that we'll be able to get our coverage. We'll be able to get hands-on with these games, talk to these developers, things like that. So in that sense, I don't think I will tell you what he needs to do, because I told him this the other day on social media. I'm like, Jeff, you need to add another day. I don't have enough time. That's what he needs to do. Spread it out a bit more. Yeah. Add another day to this, but
give some space.
Yeah, but he's doing a great job with it for sure.
Good. Yeah, I'm feeling it's a bit more and more every year. Feels the E3 magic, however you want to call it. So I'm excited to see that grow. Are there any panels that you're going to be attending, or are you participating in any of the content that's going to be part of the show?
A part of that show, no, but Giant Bomb did invite me to be on their Sunday night show that they're doing live. So
nice.
I'll be on stage for that. So that should be a lot of fun doing that. And I have a few things that I can't say.
Darn it.
But
nothing, can't spill anything yet.
Yeah. But again, this is what I'm telling you. My weekend is just, I'm hitting the ground running, and it's just 100 miles per hour until Monday night.
IGN Live also. Are you going to be participating in that? And also seeing them take an approach, I feel like there's some discourse, it's very small, about how IGN is trying to see if they can also build their own Summer Game Fest or try to compete with them. What was your take on that when they announced IGN Live?
I mean, I'm just curious to see what it's going to be. I seem to remember, I don't know if you remember this. There were some E3s years ago where I think IGN did something and it was like open to the public and it was outside the convention center. So when I first heard it, I'm thinking, okay, this will be similar to that. But it seems like they're going full on entertainment. It's not just gaming. They have other forms of entertainment. They're going to be a part of it as well. And it's going to be open to the public. They'll be able to participate in it, you know, sit in on panels, interviews, things like that. So it should be good. I think they have some limited hands-on opportunities for the public as well. I think if I remember reading that correctly, but I mean, it's good. Yeah, I'm not going to complain that it exists. I know I won't be able to attend because again, I'm doing 1,000 other things, but I'm glad that there's something for the public to do. In that sense,
exactly.
I'm glad that there's an IGN Live for the public, and then there's a Summer Game Fest for the media and content creators, so that again, we get the best of both worlds. They'll have things specific for the public and they'll have things specific for us so that we can all take advantage.
That's right. Everyone can take part in the Summer Games Fund, which I love.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's always a pleasure having you on the show. Thanks for being on it. Appreciate it.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Paris Lilly is a host and creator for Kinda Funny and Gamertag Radio. You can follow him on Twitter at Vicious696. So that's the news this week. I'm your host, Naomi Kyle, and I had the best time bringing you all the latest in games. Thank you so much for listening. Your listen makes a huge difference. And don't forget to let me know what you're playing and what you think about these stories by tagging me at Naomi Kyle on social. From all of us here at This Week in Gaming, we wish you an awesome gaming-filled week, and we'll see you again same time next week. Thanks for listening.
This Week in Gaming is an iHeartRadio Canada podcast. Subscribe to this podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app for more podcasts just like these.